Welcome to session 9 of Growing Leaders. This session is entitled Staying Fresh, and we have a number of aims for our session. The first aim is we want to understand leadership as a marathon, not a sprint. Secondly, we want to enable participants to grasp the importance of staying fresh for the long haul. And then thirdly, to establish a training program that will help them to do just that. As I overview this session, I want to identify that the background to this is that it's all too easy for people to start well and actually end too quickly. In my experience of meeting leaders over the years, there is nothing more attractive than a Christian leader in their 70s or 80s who's been involved in a whole variety of different leadership responsibilities over 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 years. And they're still as committed and as passionate and as fresh about it in their 60s, 70s and 80s as they were in their teens and 20s. It's a wonderful thing to see. And we want to build stuff into people's lives early on at this stage that will help them to go the long haul, to go the distance, to run the marathon. Of course, the participants must take their individual responsibility for this. They have to make choices that will enable them to go the distance. And we simply want to provide them with some options about those choices. The session is built around a training process, or a training program, if you want to think of it in those terms. And there are 5 steps. Each step, there is some input for you to give as course leaders, and then some questions for the participants to reflect on. It's a little bit like going to the gym and being given a training regime by a personal trainer. That's the sort of image we're wanting to use, so that we may run the marathon well. Well, let's ask Lorraine for some practical pointers for this session. Lorraine, how did you prepare well for session 9?
Well, session 9 is all about putting together a personal training programme. And part of the need for this particular exercise is forming a running track. And you could physically do that within the room itself, just by putting posters up around the room. But a much more fun and interactive way is to put a physical running track round the room and have stations along the way that people do their exercises in as you go around the course.
And I know that you found one of the handouts a bit difficult to get a handle on before you actually led the course for the first time. Just tell us a bit about that experience.
Yeah, well, there's 5 steps to this training programme, and you just need to get your head round the actual handout itself and how the participants are going to use it, and be really clear about it so that they're really clear about what they need to do with it.
Excellent. And what did you do with the ideas that they generated for sort of training wisely for the long term of Christian leadership?
Well, there's a section in that handout which talks about the ideas to share for training wisely. And we pulled those on a flip chart and then we emailed them round to everybody, so they had them back in their places when they were back into the church, leading.
Now, I know that you wanted to give them a gift as they came towards the end of the programme, so there was something you did on this session to enable that to happen?
Definitely. We took the opportunity on the 9th session to get everybody together and take a group photo. And then we obviously developed that between session 9 and session 10 and gave them a framed version of that at the end. And that was a really good memento for them to go away with.
Thank you, Lorraine. As you come towards session 10, it's at this point you'll need to be thinking carefully about the venue for it. It may well be that you'll invite others to join you for this part of the course, and you'll need to change your venue to make that possible. It may also be that you want to approach that session with a party feel in mind. All the material is suggested in the Leader's Guide, so do make sure you have a look at that right now and don't get too close to the session before you do it. The other thing you might want to give some thought to at this stage in the programme is to arrange a meeting with the mentors for an end debrief. That will be after session 10, but you may need to get the date in the diary now. We hope this session will enable your course participants to stay fresh in leadership, not just over the next weeks and months, but over the years and decades that lie ahead.